Hello, everybody. It's me, your old pal Duhad, along with Rydell and the Nero Brony.
Let's read.
Yes.
So we're going to be playing a little bit of Crusader Kings II by request from the stream after I chickened out of playing more than half an hour of Five Nights at Freddy's for the first session. I have not bought any DLC for this game, so hardcore fans will probably be upset with me about that, but don't worry, I will, if I do more of this game, I'll probably add in, I'll probably get some more content, because I really like this game. There's some fantastic DLC. Okay, so DLC required, Charlemagne DLC required. So you can start in any one of these ages. Basically, the way this game works is it's a relatively realistic simulator of being a medieval family in some part of Europe, or as the expansions continue to go, Middle East, Eastern Europe, all the way over to India with the latest expansions, starting from anywhere from 769 AD all the way up to the late Middle Ages of 1337 AD as a starting period. I'm going to start in the High Middle Ages.
This is Crusader Kings II.
This is Crusader Kings II. And this is all very historically minded and stuff, so it's kind of cool. By the late 10th and early 11th centuries, the Muslim world was changing, with Turkish dynasties such as the Shulguks and the Ghazarivids, I'm sorry if I'm murdering these names, now dominating Persia. The Byzantine Empire was still holding its own, but was to see worse times coming. Central and Western continental Europe was split between France and a Holy Roman Empire, while Christian kings were advancing against fractured and weakened Muslim Spain. Scandinavia was quickly converting to Christianity, and the Norse settlers in Russia and Britain had become assimilated with the local population. Yet Viking descendants in Normandy and Italy were preparing new conquests, and the time of the First Crusade was approaching. Now you can play as anyone in this time period, literally any noble from the minorest baron to the greatest emperor. Though they do give you recommendations on interesting people to play. So William de Normandy, later to become William the Conqueror.
Wait,
A.K.A. William the Bastard.
Yeah, a.k.a. William the Bastard.
Did he have Nero, the ruler of Rome?
I don't believe...
Was it?
That
Nero
is the
would have been
wrong
older.
era.
Yeah, wrong era.
Yeah, I was...
Henrik Sullien of Germany, the Holy Roman Empire. Robert de Hauteville.
Robert De Niro?
Not quite. I think I forget who he's the lord of. Al Mustir, fuck it. Fadmerd of, he's the Caliph of Egypt, and this guy is the Duke of Calbury. Alp Alasi Seljuk, Sultan of Persia, and I'm not gonna get fucking bothered trying to pronounce that. Whatever, the Maharaja of Mohara. I'm going to not choose any of them because I'm an independent lady and I do what I want. So I'm going to have my own custom setup, and I'm gonna
You're gonna play as Colgate?
I'm gonna play as fucking Colgate. No, I can't play as Colgate, sadly. But I can custom set the date to whatever time I want. But I'm not going to. I'm going to play as a Lord of Ireland. And I'm going to try to unite all of Ireland into one united kingdom.
So Prince Cool Flash is asking, is this game Duhad is playing good?
Yes.
My guess is, from the way he's gushing over it, yes.
It is a little dull if you're not into kind of slower games. It is what is called a grand strategy game. Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, Victoria, and Hearts of Iron together form a semi-unbroken chain that spans from the medieval era all the way up to through World War II. That you can use to play out all of the span of human history and world politics along that whole period of time. It is kind of slow, and it's a game that will give me a lot of time to basically just talk to you guys. So it's going to be kind of a Q&A sort of game in much the same way that when I used to play Civ, it worked in the same way. But it's also kind of a cool game for kind of creating a narrative, like a role-playing. Because you're essentially role-playing your family in this game. It's less about the conquering the world and more about creating a dynasty with heirs and...
Let's roleplay.
lords and all this stuff. It's a really nifty game if you've got a
I want to
patience.
do
for
one of
it.
those Q&A ones with crap, what's it called? Beyond Earth.
I'd like to, except Beyond Earth keeps on crashing for me. I've been trying to figure out how to fix that. So I'm
Have you
probably
tried
gonna,
asking nicely?
I will try. So I'm going
you
to probably
tried
start with this guy because
shouting
he's
at
the
very-
only in this era. He is the only Irish lord who actually has a second kingdom. He is a petty king. He's what's called a petty king. He's Ura Brain, and we're going to take over his kingdom. King Mushrad of Mum. Very, very noble. Luckily, all of my competition are scattered. England will be my main danger, as well as Scotland to a lesser extent. But luckily, England is dealing
Go
with...
conquer them too.
Yeah, luckily, right now, Normandy is going to be invading England, and they're going to have to be dealing with France, because this is around the time of the revolution of William the Bastard. So...
Here's what you need to do. Forget uniting Ireland. While England and France are busy duking it out, sneak attack France. Conquer France.
That will be nearly impossible. This is not a game where you, by the way, this is not a game where you build armies. This is a game in which you have territory that can muster a certain number of soldiers, and they start getting tired and pissed off if you, keep them as a mobilized army long enough because they want to get back to their farms. It's that kind of game. Okay, so first of all,
Well,
my
then you
ruler
need to
is
be
unmarried.
really, really good to accomplish it.
Yeah, so right off the bat, my ruler's unmarried, though he does have an heir. His wife is... Let's see here, yeah.
Is it Herr Wutzig?
It is not Herr Wutzig. He does not have a child. I think that... no, I do have a son. And I have 3 siblings. My grandparents are both dead, and my father is dead. My heir is also unmarried. Currently, I have to pick ambition, what this guy wants to accomplish in his life, and this is my county. I can press de jure ducal claims.
De
The following
jure,
de
no.
jure ducal claims can be pressed.
Do you or no pizza?
So basically, I have in this game you can't just declare war on anyone. You have to have essentially a legal justification for why you are laying claim to a territory. In this case, I have legal claims to this territory. Now, the reason for that could be a number of different things. It could be that this territory is considered part of the greater whole, like it essentially revolted and broke away a few years ago. It could be that he is a blood relative, and I have a better claim. I can claim the throne by right of essentially saying, we're related, and I think that, okay, so in this case... This is part of my territory. This is historically part of the territory that is now my kingdom. So I have Casabelli to essentially go, you motherfucker, you're holding my shit right now. You are a rebellious, vassal, and I'm going to lay claim to your territory.
I'm going to eat your soul.
Yes, basically.
I don't think that that's really a valid strategic maneuver, eating of souls.
I think that it is entirely valid. So as you can
Actually,
kind of see...
I think that you eating souls might be casus belli for several neighboring nations.
See, if I
Yeah,
zoom
I
out,
always
here's
go
the fun
to
thing. If I
Civ
zoom out, I can actually see, without the dividing lines of the individual countries, this is what the current, these are what the actual regions are. So Mum is this area here. As you can see, one area is missing. Leinster is these 2 areas right here. Meath is these 2. Connacht is these 2, and Ulster, which is the largest territory in Ireland, is this. But only Mum has 2 territories at the beginning of the game. Meanwhile, York, Lancaster, Essex, Wessex, Cornwall, Kent, East Anglia, Northumbria, etc., are over there. So I can zoom out even further and see territorial claims. So, for instance, okay, apparently I'm not set to territorial claims right now. De jure kingdoms, so Ireland, Scotland, England, France. And then you can even go further out and say empires: Britannia, Scandinavia, Holy Roman Empire, Franca, Hispaniola, Carpathia, Byzantium, Tartars, Russia. And the thing is, basically, the more territory you can claim, if you can claim that you have enough of a region to say essentially if I want to go out and be hey, I control half of Ireland. I'm declaring myself King of Ireland. Every independent faction in Ireland, you are now rebelling against the true King of Ireland. And I'd have Casabelli to essentially invade and take over their territory. Later on, if I could take out Scotland as well and maybe Wales, I could later on say, I am declaring myself the Emperor of Britain. And then, invade England and, anyone else who happened to be standing in my way in that regard.
Sean wants to know if you can declare war because you slept with my mother.
You could almost.
To which I am going to say, what hast thou done? That which cannot be undone. Thou hast undone our mother. Villain, I hast done thy mother. Yeah, that is Shakespeare making a Yo Mama joke.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I fucking love Shakespeare. Dude,
it's from Othello.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm going to see if anyone has a marryable daughter around here. Because I want to, I'm thinking long term. I want my son to marry the daughter of one of these lords so that I can claim that their kids have the right to the crowns of these petty kingdoms. Unfortunately,
we'll join our houses. Now your shit is mine.
Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be a ton of people who are overly interested in doing that. I'm not seeing a lot of eligible daughters right now. But what I could do is kind of make a cross-county claim and essentially go like, hey, people of Ireland, Scotland, I'm sure there's someone around you guys who's got an eligible daughter for my beautiful gentleman. Let's see who is currently marriageable. My good lord.
So, what, you're gonna have your son make an OkCupid profile so you can just search the whole region?
Kind of. Right now I'm going to look around at all the eligible bachelors. Alright, so there's there's a Norwegian princess who is rather eligible and has a not too terrible opinion of me. She's a misguided warrior, which means that she'll train people to... she has a +1 martial skill, -1 learning, 50% health, just, ambitious, slothful, and shy. Good enough. And the Normans are good people to have on my side, so...
She's not perfect, but, she's good enough.
Yeah.
She's not perfect, but she does have huge tracts of land.
Yes. So I'm going to offer a thing. I can also sweeten the deal by doing a maternal marriage. Under the terms of maternal marriage, any child born of the union will be of the mother's dynasty rather than the father's. This is a way of ensuring the continuation of a dynasty if your ruler or heir is female. And it's important to note that it is possible to change the laws over time to actually make it so that you can have a female monarch. Some nations are a little bit more lax about this sort of thing than others. So, for instance, England, because it's historically accurate, can, relatively easily finagle a situation where a woman can end up, being crowned queen. Whereas it would be a little bit harder in some Arab nations to get a female sultan. And by a little harder, I mean significantly.
If I recall, with their whole lineage of kings, their first monarch was female, I think.
Yeah, they did have some. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of Arab nations, and they are not all the same.
Well, I'm saying England.
Yeah,
England is not an Arab nation.
I was gonna say,
typically.
No, but
I mean, Civilization 5, it did happen once.
To be fair. Okay, so there's also a very young woman here. She's Anglo-Saxon. That's another good one. She's the Princess of England. Probably unlikely, but let's see. What's my chances? Yeah, actually not bad. So I can get a King Harold. I'm going to try and request King Harold II's youngest daughter be betrothed, not actually married, but arrange a marriage with my son. She's only 14 right now. She's only 13 right now, which means that it's going to be a while before she's able to actually get married to him.
Dude, that's sick.
My son's only 18. Whatever, it's fine.
So it's 18 plus 13.
Look, they're not actually going to have sex. I'm just, arranging a marriage so when she becomes marrying age, they'll get married.
It's historically accurate.
Yes, it's dirty pool. Don't get me wrong. It is very dirty pool, but again, that's kind of the thing. This is medieval politics. Marrying people and doing fucking creepy, borderline incestuous shit is kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, borderline.
Straight up in many cases. Oh, you can
Hey,
fucking go
the
incestuous.
The Emperor Nero was known for incest. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna go with Roman emperors and sexual things, Caligula.
Yeah, to be fair, Caligula was fucking.
He did have
motherfucker.
a certain lover by the name of Incantatus, who was a senator, and also his horse.
All right, so we also have the Pope currently. The Pope's current successor is the Bishop of Caeldun. He's not anyone I particularly care about, so I'm not worried about that.
That's gonna be a little difficult to marry into.
Yeah, no, I'm more worried about their making sure that the Pope doesn't end up being one of my political rivals and essentially going like, "Hey, buddy, you know what rhymes with Smex communication?"
Yeah.
I'd be worried less about that and more about the fact that like half the Crusades were that.
Yeah.
Were the Pope being someone's political rival and getting like half of Europe to declare war on that political rival.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that can fucking happen. So it's really important to not.
Also, important thing to remember in this era, the Pope is much less of a spiritual leader and more of a political leader.
Yep. So I'm going to first
who raises armies and stuff.
Yeah. So because I'm going a little bit more militaristic, I'm going to try and put my focus in trying to get some castle infrastructure. Not really generating much technology at all right now, but whatever. This is a relatively slower game, so I'm not really expecting that. I can set my own taxes, though because of the current laws, it's not necessarily. So right now, centralized laws. The central state is important for a liege to grow powerful, but the decentralized state might be easier to manage. Right now, the governance of our nation is minimal. Vassal limit plus 10. I can't have more than 10 vassals. I could raise it to low, which would give me plus 1 dominion size at the cost of -5 vassals. Basically, this would result in people being a little bit more. It'll be a little hard to govern, but the upside is I can basically raise taxes. I can do more things, and I can control more territory because I'm having a little bit more of a centralized government.
Speaking of politics and incest, for those of you interested, Telltale Games did just make a Game of Thrones adventure game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that shit. And also only make one change to the laws every little bit. So let's hear right now. Feudal taxes are at 0, so lords are exempt from taxes. Feudal levies are normal, so the population of a feudal land is taxed pretty regularly. City levies are normal. City taxation is level. Church levies are normal. Church taxations are minimum. Levies are the number of troops that you're expected to raise. Taxes is how much money you're expecting from an individual person. I can also find the general laws here. So right now, it's primogenitor, which is, I believe, the first male heir, becomes your successor. You can switch that to women inherit on the same grounds as men do. That was one that England immediately starts with. Changing succession law will displease all vassals, especially those who stand to lose. So my son would obviously be pissed off if I had a female daughter if I had a daughter who suddenly ended up being, placed above him in succession if I changed the laws like that. I don't have a daughter, so it doesn't really matter. I can't change that law right now, so also that doesn't really matter. Right now, women can inherit. I can change the law so that women, period, cannot inherit the throne. A cousin or something would inherit before a daughter did. None of these other things are really particularly useful. I can change the laws so the youngest child inherits and all sorts of wacky shit like that, but there's literally no reason for me to do that. I don't.
That'd be kind of crazy to see.
Yeah, it is all these have historical
all of
precedents.
your children would be perpetually pissed off because you'd have a new child who would then jump in line for the throne.
Yeah, trust me, no one likes you doing that, and there's very little reason to do that unless you're doing something weird. People who play this game a lot tend to set their own weird decisions and stuff. So like their own weird like things that they want to do, like refounding the Holy Roman Empire or creating
Conquering
like
France as Ireland.
yeah, like well, like, often even more like ridiculous than that. Like there's a lot of like history nuts who will play this game and do things like I'm going to change the succession line of Scotland in order to ensure that it's like young women, like the youngest woman in the family becomes the queen, and it ends up becoming like a dynasty that rules alongside England and part of like thing, and then uses that to put a Scottish pope on the throne or some crazy bullshit like that.
Speaking of crazy history, apparently rather recently, England has found the body of King Edward III. He was under a parking lot.
I did hear about that at one point, I think. So I'm going to be placing my advisors around. So I'm going to send my chancellor, and each of my advisors can do various things. So the chancellor can fabricate claims, which I'm going to start working on right now, improve diplomatic relations,
and
or slow dissent.
If fiction tells us anything, he will inevitably stab you in the back. It's part of his job.
True. I can have my marshal, who is also a bishop. I've apparently so stuck up for people that I'm just going like, hey, man of the cloth, you're also the leader of my military forces. I can have him research military tech, suppress revolutions, or train troops. I'm going to have him train troops in my capital. Edward, who is my, I believe, my steward. Yep. You can collect taxes, oversee construction, or research economic technology.
Your bishop can train troops. Get down and give me 20 Hail Marys.
Yes. Let's see here. Then I'm also going to study technology in a foreign region. I'm going to send him over to... I'm not really worried about pissing off some of these people. On the other hand, I don't want to send them anywhere where I'm likely to really fuck up. Let's have him start, I could piss off the English, which would be hilarious, but let's go down to Paris. Might be a little bit dangerous, but, they probably are significantly more technologically advanced than I am.
I was going to say, if you go to Italy, then in order to invade you, they'd pretty much have to go through France.
True. Though, in this case, I'm going to stick with Paris for now, because it's closer. And I'll finally research technology, yeah. And construction, no, that's laws. Technologies, military intrigue, factions, religion. There's my council. My councilors are all doing okay.
Wait. Your marshal is a bishop, but your chaplain isn't.
Yes. And finally, I can build I have some infrastructure room in Umhalin, so I can build a city, a temple, or a castle. Castles trade more levies. Cities produce lots of money. Temples produce both troops and levies, but if you don't have a good relationship with the church, they will just send all that shit to the Pope. For the time being, I just want military, so I'm going to order the construction of a castle if I can afford it, which I probably can't. No, I cannot. Not even close. And so, with nothing else to do, I will start the game running properly. And this is a game where basically everything is just constantly running, so it's kind of like, you basically can like just speed up time rather than like hitting end turn or anything like that. I'm just waiting for Larry's coming. Here we go.
In your car
with Sean's thing about the declaring war if you happen to have an intelligence community. Bit of a problem there with most of the intelligence community was also part of the church.
Yes.
Like most of the writing records and stuff were done by monks. Things.
Yeah, you don't need a spy network to invade.
Sean wants you to give taxes to the rich.
I will look into that. Though if I piss off my my lords, they won't be as willing to raise levies in my name and may even revolt. First of all, Prince Ingrid and King Mossum have gotten married. We can collect royal aid duties to pay for the ceremony. So I can pay 8.59 gold to kind of like throw a lavish party. No, people will respect wealth, or I can gain 100 prestige. So I can either gain a bit of gold by being stingy, or I can not be stingy and gain a bunch of prestige, which I'm going to do. I'm going to get some prestige. I want to become a bigwig, swing my dick around a little bit. The glorious
a
King
helicopter.
Moshin, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your suggestion that King Moshin and Princess Ingrid get married. To the glorious King Mashrid, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I have decided to accept your suggestion of betrothal between Brian and Princess Gwyneth. Hooray! The children are getting married!
Kinky.
Okay, and I now have a, and again, here's where things start here's where it starts getting to roleplay stuff. I'm going to be getting these various little, like, suggestions and things I can do. So, dear son-in-law, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. This is from the King of Norway, who I just married his daughter. Dear son-in-law, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. We request that you honor your obligations and answer the call to arms against King Harold II of England. Declining would cost us 25 prestige. If we accept, we will be part of the Norwegian invasion. I'll accept. I'm not actually going to, like, do anything probably there because... Yeesh. Oh, a character has died. So an old woman has died. I don't... Alright, I think that was my, Yeah, okay, one of the wife of one of my courtiers has died. I don't care. And Ingrid has arrived at court.
Anon suggested that a reason he could think of to have the youngest switch to youngest heir would be to promote a long-living king or queen. Which I think will only piss off heirs even more.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, it would, you know, like, again, you can do that. If you really have... Okay, one reason you might do it is if you find that you have a son or daughter who has got unbelievably good, like, traits and stuff, and you think they'd be able to do great things, you can switch it around to try and make sure that they end up in power for as long as possible, which, you know, is a legitimate thing you can try and do. You fuck around with the lineage, with succession in order to try and improve your thing. It's a good political strategy, just one that's going to piss off people.
Well, another option there might just be, okay, son of mine, who has really poor stats and is basically a cruel idiot.
Yes.
I decided to put you in charge of the invasion of France. You leave now.
You can also do something like that. Okay.
Alas, my son is dead. My genius child is next in line to the throne.
To be fair,
woe
totally.
is me.
Okay, so I have the right to press claims against this guy, and you know what I'm gonna do? Press fucking claims against this guy.
What did he do?
Declare war.
What's your
claim.
reason?
I am pressing my de jure claim. The county of Dumholland is de jure, a vassal of King...
De jure.
De jure.
Okay, de jure. That is different from de jure, which is of the day.
Right, sorry. De jure of King Marcy Monshred of Mum, which is cause enough for war. If we win the war, Earl Meredish of King Monan becomes Earl's new liege. If we make a white peace, my king loses 100 prestige. If we lose the war, I lose 200 prestige and have to pay 108 gold to the Earl. Yes, I believe I can win this. He is Irish. He's culturally Irish. I'm not going to offer peace because that would be a white peace, and fuck that.
Well, I said that he's Irish is the reason for your claim. De jure is basically, I am, under law, the king of this area.
Exactly.
I'm suppressing you as a rebel.
That is literally what I'm doing, yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to war. And my little armies are going to slowly march. They're arriving one by one. Let's just slow that down a little bit. So, yeah. Right now the armies are pretty evenly matched, though I do have reinforcements on the way, which will hopefully turn the tide of battle at a key moment. If they fucking arrive in time, please arrive in time, you dicks. Go. There you go. Okay, there you go. That should turn the tide. I can also manually change the battle formations and stuff, but since I basically have 3 lords running my forces to... Or do I have 1 lord and he's got 3? Oh yeah, he's beating me. He's beating me like a drum. That's not good. I was defeated. Pretty spectacularly. I'm going to go home and lick my wounds.
And give him money.
Oh no, I'm fucking... I lost the battle. I'm not losing the war. This is going to be a protracted siege. One I might end up losing, admittedly, but see, I'm going to also quickly disband these forces. Disband.
You should try not to lose.
Well, no shit. I never would have thought of that one.
It is an important step.
Alright, my goal here is mostly just to damage them enough at this point to prevent them from being able to lay siege to my territory. Because even if you win, doesn't mean that you have enough forces to actually take a castle and prolong siege. Alright, I'm going to have you guys disband. So yeah, now they're going to besiege me. They are currently... the siege has abandoned and will not resume until attacking forces are large enough to defeat the defending ones. So right now I have 2,000 forces defending versus their 1,000 attacking. So they literally cannot take the territory. Yeah. Yes. So basically I'm in a relatively decent position here in terms of the fact that we're in something of a stalemate. Admittedly, it's unfortunate to an extreme that they managed to do as well against me as they did. However, their victory is not assured, and I have no problem waiting them out. Because as things go, we are under attack. Yeah, I don't care. So, questions from the chat. You are supposed to be reading them off and letting me know what's going on.
Sean wants you to declare war to Carpathian. So I think he wants you to declare war on some East European countries.
I'm not invading Carpathia. That's kind insane.
And wants you to have Ed work on the Philosopher's Stone.
Okay, I will see about that.
And so the rich will be upset if you tax them, but say these taxes do require our process to focus on making the Philosopher's Stone.
I'm sure they'll be so much more interested at that point. I can call upon Norman reinforcements to assist me in battle if I need to, and I can hire mercenaries. I might end up needing to, though I don't know if I can afford them.
Hire Deadpool.
Deadpool would be rather expensive, unfortunately.
And he would just kill everyone.
Well, here's the thing. You hire Deadpool instead of an entire army of mercenaries.
How brilliant. Why didn't I think of that myself?
You know, that number says one, but they can't kill that one, and he can probably kill all of them.
This is true. My beloved half-brother Lawrence is concerned that he is still not married. I'll find someone for you. Okay, I should find a son for my beloved half-brother. Lawrence, where are you, Lawrence, you useless bugger? Yeah, where's my bloody dynasty? Okay, it's here. Relations, allies, Ben's court. Family, here we go. Lawrence, you miserable sod, where are you? Here you are.
I think bottom right.
Yeah, he's not married. I don't particularly care who he gets married to, so, let's see her. Bastard. She's a bastard. She's not going to be very useful. She wouldn't be able to marry anyone. She wouldn't be able to, give me much of a claim, but I'm not all that concerned about that. This woman doesn't seem to be all that, unnecessary. She's Portuguese. She's a glutton, slothful, and lustful. Honest.
What does a cross and heart at the right mean?
She desires to get married, and she's a Catholic.
Okay.
So, probably will do.
Yeah.
Base relations, prestige effect. Okay, yeah, this should be...
Or is this before the Protestant Reformation?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So, well, I guess the probably only options there are Catholic and Muslim.
Well, I think there's also some...
Maybe Jewish in rare situations.
Well, the Sons of Abraham is an expansion that came out, and they do add, like, when they add the expansions, you can't play, unless you buy the expansions, you can't play as the areas, but they are added to the game. So, the Abrahamic faiths all got bonuses from that, including Judaism, which it does exist on the map. But there's also, like, the Indians obviously have their own, have a different religion.
Yeah, I didn't realize it went that far east.
It goes pretty fucking far in all directions, yeah. Actually, probably should have just played as Iceland. Just to be like a goon. Just be like, whatever, I'm Iceland, fuck it.
We're on Iceland. Viking raids everywhere.
Raid everything.
Raid!
I might actually like end this one a bit early and basically just call this a failed thing because it's like, okay, this is going terribly badly. But we'll resume again because also we're getting closer to the point where we're at the end. What I should have done. It's been a while since I played this, but what I should have done really was wait till I had enough money to hire mercenaries, then invaded with like double the forces I had by hiring a huge army of mercenaries to assist me. Take out his army in crushing defeat, then consolidate power over this territory. That would have been the best thing to do.
This seems like a game I might have to get.
Yeah. At any rate, I think we'll stop for right there. Oh, another fun thing, just before I stop. Oops, I didn't mean to quit the game. That was a derp move. But what you can do is when you log out of the game, you can resume playing at any time. And here's the fun